On this trip, I get to fish with a couple of my very best friends, Chris Ullman and Corey McGuire. Chris Ullman's one of my best friends. We grew up together fishing, and it's not often that we get out and fish a whole lot together anymore. The same thing with Corey. I've known Corey McGuire since he was probably 12 years old, and he's become one of the very best guides in this area in Southwest Florida. So for me to get a chance to get out and fish with two of my real good buddies is awesome, but it's also a really special thing for the three of us, because as long as the three of us have all known each other, oddly enough, we've never all three fished together at the same time on the same boat. So something that I was really looking forward to. It'd be a really great time.
My name's Captain Corey McGuire. I'm a full-time guide out here on Pine Island. Me and Witt and Zolman grew up together. I met them fishing tournaments when I was probably about 12 years old. For me, I've been so busy guiding that I really don't get a chance to catch fish for myself anymore as much as I'd like to. So it was kind of a nice treat to get to go on the boat and not have to rig everybody else's rods, and just dig in the bait well and fish and just hang out with the guys.
Corey's been one of the top guides in the area for a while now. Really knows his business, knows these waters like the back of his hand. It's just a real treat for somebody like myself to get out with these guys and get a chance to get out and really put it to it.
So I've been traveling all over this year and visited some amazing places, but to get back home onto my home waters, place that I know and love so much, it kind of made it a little more special and made me realize a little bit, how great of a place this is and the fishery in Southwest Florida.
We're so fortunate to have Charlotte Harbor and Pine Island Sound. It's such a diverse fishery, and to have that in our backyard. There's just so many bait fish and fish that congregate in this area due to all the water flow. And Charlotte Harbor has the Peace and the Myakka River that dump into it, which turns into Pine Island Sound and Boca Grande Pass and Captiva Pass and Redfish Pass. There's just incredible water movement, and there's just so many natural places, whether it's grass flats or creeks and estuaries, for those fish to grow up in, and that's why this is really a thriving fishery.
We're staying at Tarpon Lodge. Good friends of mine, the Wells, own this place, and it's a really cool, unique little old Florida resort tucked along the west side of Pine Island, overlooking the northern part of Pine Island Sound. And this is where we'd be fishing from for this trip, and an incredible and perfect location to fish from as far as accessibility to Charlotte Harbor, Pine Island Sound itself, and the Gulf of Mexico. We got ready to go in the morning, and the wind was up a little bit, but for all intents and purposes, the weather looked like it was going to be perfect. And for what we were trying to do, this area is known for its inshore fishery and its tarpon fishing. What it's not quite as well known for is the nearshore, offshore stuff just off the barrier islands in the Gulf of Mexico. For what we're going to do, and 90% of the fishing that goes on here, bait plays a huge role. And when you're going offshore and you don't have a set specific plan necessarily, but you're going to kind of see what weather happens and adapt as you go, you really want to be kind of outfitted for whatever could happen, and that goes from your tackle all the way to your bait. We wanted to have a big variety of bait, from whitebait pilchers to threadfin herring to grunts for bottom fishing, and so that's a big part of the fishing here. You go fishing before you go fishing.
Wild Instinct Outdoors is in partnership with Ray Marine. Go hunting underwater with Ray Marine.
At first light, we go out to some of the shallower grass flats and chum for whitebait, scaled sardines or pilchards, and get a few hundred pieces of bait for the purposes of snapper fishing and also chumming and firing up the wrecks. Then once the sun gets up a little bit, the thread fins come up to the surface and dimple the water. Once we were done getting pilchards, we ran across some deeper water flats where those threads would rise with the sun, and netted a couple hundred threadfin, and then got our grunts and went ahead to head offshore. All right, boys, what do you think? Jump out the pass and
we got
start
about
heading that way?
22 miles.
22?
Should catch that right on the tide change, and then fish that permit wreck first and try to get that over and done with, and then maybe run a little bit further south and try to do some Kobe and AJ's.
Yep, okay. Sounds good. Those permit been getting up once the sun's up, right?
Yeah, we need to get out there once that sun gets a little bit higher. It should be right on that tide change on that slack, so the fish should be up floating. They should be able to sight fish them.
Cool, just cruise nice and easy out there.
Let's roll.
Yep.
So I've been gone a lot. I haven't been here too much, and Corey is extremely busy, probably one of the busiest guides here. And so I was kind of using him as my eyes on the water to see what was going on and what we ought to do for this trip.
After I got a chance to go out and look around after one of my trips this past week, and I text Witt and I told him, make sure you get some crabs, the place is loaded. I almost didn't want to text him and tell him that, because it just felt like I was putting, extra pressure on it. And you just, pray that when you have cameras on the boat and you have an opportunity to do something like this, that it all works out. And knowing that the fish should be there, but it's fishing, nothing's guaranteed.
You just want to come up current of the wreck and set up and make a couple drifts through it and look?
Yeah, we'll kind of split those two pieces and just drift through there.
Okay.
And just see what side they're on and get that figured out, and maybe we'll throw the hook.
We pulled up to the first spot, and even though Corey had seen a bunch of permit out there a few days beforehand, as fishermen, that doesn't mean that they're necessarily still there and that it's going to happen. So we set up current and upwind of the two pieces of structure and set a drift kind of down through the middle of them. And as we kind of closed and got to where we were between the two pieces, we all put crabs out to let them kind of drift past us, or us drift past them in the vicinity of the wreck. And it wasn't more than probably a minute, and Corey hooked up on a nice permit.
You on? There we go. It didn't take long, Corey.
30 seconds later or so, I hooked up and we were doubled on great permit on our very first drift.
Holy cow. Here you go.
Come on, Zolman. It was definitely a little relief for me, and I really got to enjoy the day that much more after that.
Come on up. Oh, no. Come off there.
I got color.
Nice fish, Corey. Nice, dude. That's a good fish.
Studs.
Yes, they are. If you want, keep him alive for a second. Let's tag him.
Nice fish, brother.
Heck yeah. It didn't take long, bro.
First two casts.
Beautiful. Let's tag both those because they're two different sizes.
All right.
So, two different age groups.
So I permit fish here quite a bit, and one of the things I try to do is to tag some of these fish for research, and we do this in conjunction with the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission and the Bonefish and Tarpon Trust. The purpose of this is to gather data on these fish from everything from how big of a range they have to their mortality rate after being caught, and age and recapture.
We got 22.75 inches. Okay, hold on, fin clip. We're going to. Okay, I need a vial number 4. We'll be quick. Okay, cap it.
10.5.
10.5 pounds.
Let's get him back in the water.
Get him revived, good.
They're so pretty. Look at all those different colors.
Really, these scientists and marine biologists are starving for the data, and just like anything, the more data you can bring in, the more accurate your study is. So, these guys really benefit hugely from people like us collecting the data and tagging the fish, and then and on the other end of it, if you catch a tagged fish, to make sure you report it.
Wild Instinct Outdoors is in partnership with Hooters, the cure for the common restaurant. The American Barrels, live free or die, a true American spirit.
permit are one of my very most favorite fish to pursue. Not only because they're not always here in great numbers, so it's something that when they're here, it's kind of like tarpon, you know, when they're here, you want to fish for them. But as far as a game fish goes, you know, they're very wily. They have incredible eyesight, they're powerful, they're extremely fast, and really if I had to pick one fish to pursue, the permit would be right up there on the list.
Corey, these fish just kind of do big loops around the structure or what?
Yeah, it all depends. When that tide's running, they'll usually kind of swim a loop around it. When that tide slacks off, a lot of times they'll come up to the surface and float.
Sit right behind it or right off one side of it.
But this is perfect, just a little bit of chop so we can have a nice slow drift and get some visual shots at the fish.
Yeah.
You can be out there fishing in general and literally know exactly when you have a permit on. The line getting ripped off the reel, they dig down and just really give you a battle.
Yeah, we're right between them right now.
Are you guys on?
Zolman's on?
Get him, brother.
Yeah, buddy. This is cool too, Corey, because it's actually kind of late in the year for this, you know?
Yeah.
A little later than we would normally be doing this, but when it's really happening, two of us don't ever have a day to go do it for fun.
I'll tell you what, it was kind of fun to get to catch a fish for a change.
Right?
But I think I'm enjoying this just as much. There we go, got color right there.
That's a good fish, bud.
Nice, brother. That is a stud. Nice fish. That's bigger than the first one.
Fish.
Yeah.
Just colors.
God, how pretty that is.
They're so strong.
Such
Beautiful
an awesome fish.
Nice job, man.
I had a great fish on, big permit, and I'd been fighting it for a few minutes already. You know, I was thinking that the fight was about over, and all of a sudden a shark got on it.
Oh, he got eaten.
That's right. He's over, he's over, he's over.
Free spool.
You want me to take it up?
In reaction, I opened the bail to let that fish get away. It made a run straight back under the boat, got wrapped in the lower unit. We had a camera guy already in the water getting some water shots of us fishing in. So just immediately kind of, you know, you got to react to it by the second. And I pulled my mic off real quick and dove in the water, got the fish out from the lower unit and got back tight on it. And the fish got away from the shark and we got back in the boat and ended up landing the fish.
Coming up.
I had to put it in the free spool. When that shark got on me, he was right on top of that fish. So I popped in free spool. When I did, the thing shot straight back under the boat.
Completely changed
Here,
its
I'm gonna
directions.
take you out there, see if you can gain some
Yeah,
line.
I did.
Went from one fight to
Yeah, it
another.
popped me up. That was crazy. 3 seconds of mayhem.
This makes this fish worth it even more so.
Nice fish, dude. A little more. Got him.
Yeah, another nice fish.
Nice
That
work,
is a
brother.
nice mat right
That's
there.
a beast. Had to work for that one.
Beautiful fish.
Doesn't get any better than that, Witt.
No, it doesn't, buddy.
We're lucky to get that fish.
Oh.
Nice work, man.
He doesn't look beat up or anything, does he?
down the
No.
side
He got
of the
away
boat.
clean.
No, he did. That's an awesome fish, dude.
Yes, it is. That was sick.
Nice.
Sick, dude.
That
Nice
was-
work. I think it's the whole lure of permit fishing. You know, they're this really sought after game fish. They're beautiful. They're big silver fish. Their eyesight's incredible, and you know, it's honestly a tough fish to catch. You know, and you know, once you catch one, you know, it's really an achievement and an accomplishment. It's a fish that catching one of you really appreciate. I know when I texted you the other day, when I came out after my trip to look around, you know, tell you to get crabs because the place was loaded. You know, but that was 2 days ago. This fish could have
It's like
left.
you're
You
just
didn't
like,
know.
please, weather could
Just
change.
the anxiety of it. You know, we had a chance of a 70% chance of rain, which ended up going down to 50, which we were fortunate.
Yep.
You know, and then that wind blew a little bit this morning. I was just worried that we weren't going to be able to get out here and do that.
It was perfect. It's clouding up now a little bit. The permit
Yeah.
thing might be shutting off.
No, I think we should probably.
Let's rip it.
I mean,
See if
Go
we can
ahead,
get
move.
some pelagics or something.
let's do
Sounds
it.
good.
Wild Instinct Outdoors is in partnership with XS Sight Systems, the fastest sights in any light. Boatmaster Trailers, the name that represents quality.
You know, the permit wreck was a success, and we're planing up to leave, and I look over in the distance and I see something. And I looked over at Witt and Zolman, and they said, yeah, I thought I saw something too, but with the waves, you know, it was kind of disappearing. It was so far, we couldn't really tell what it was. And I said, well, if we don't have anything loose, let's run over there and check it out. And when we pulled up to it, and Witt came off plane, I went up to the bow, and it was the most triple tail I've ever seen. I mean, there had to be 15, 20 triple tail on it. You know, we immediately shut off the motor, and we're all like little kids scrambling, fighting for the rod. Nobody wants to put the trolling motor in. Like, you know, we were all so excited. And for all the time we've spent on the water down here, you know, between the three of us, you know, I've just never seen anything like that. It was just a really, you know, neat way to finish off the day.
Sweet.
Work, Witt.
You double up, he's on it. Sweet, dude. So sick. It's a good one though.
May I help you, Witt?
Yeah. I don't want to pop him off, it's pretty light. Someone's got it. Good fish, dude.
Cool, man.
Some people call them triple tail, I call them dinner.
Yeah, no kidding. Be good at the lodge, black and triple tail.
Heck yeah.
Still get a couple more.
Triple tail are a really cool fish. They're like prehistoric looking, and they are a pelagic fish. So they migrate in schools, and as our water warms, they move up the coast, and they hang on different structures, from crab trap buoys to pieces of floating debris. They are also very well known for their table fare. They're a beautiful white flaky meat fish.
Dude, look at that fish laying inside of that piece of structure. Oh God, he's gonna eat inside the thing. He ate inside it.
That
no
is sick.
way,
I'm
dude.
gonna help you with that one. That's a good one.
That's crazy. That was nuts, man.
Did you get on top
Dude,
of it?
I drugged the bait inside of it, and the one laying inside there ate it.
No way.
I drugged him up out of there.
That's a better fish. Nice fish.
You grab him?
Yeah.
But
Nice.
that's a good one, dude.
Sweet.
Our afternoon thunderstorms were starting to kind of build a little bit, and the wind was starting to pick up a little. And I mean, let's face it, we have had an incredible day of fishing. So we decided, we had a few fish in the cooler for dinner. We got to stumble upon a little treasure chest full of triple tail out there and catch a whole bunch of them. And we decided let's call it a day and roll back into Tarpon Lodge and have a nice dinner and kind of relax and reminisce on a great day together on the water.
To be able to get out with a couple really good friends, and not only friends, but a couple of guys that know the sound like the back of their hand, is just a real treat. As far as a fisherman goes, it makes it pretty easy on me. They do most all of the work and prep, which there is a lot involved, but they know their game, and they know how to get it done.
It was nice to just go out and catch some fish and hang out with my buddies. And it had been probably over a year and a half since me and Witt had got to fish together, and as long as I've known Zolman, we never really got a chance to fish together. It was just a really nice weekend to just kind of unwind and really get to enjoy the whole experience, and looking forward to doing this, watching all the Witt shows and all the different places. And I was just kind of like, man, I hope he does a show back home and asks me, When he called me up the other day, it was cool, and I was really looking forward to it. And looking back at it, it makes us realize how lucky we are to have this as our backyard, and how much fun it is just to go hang out with your buddies and catch some fish.
For me to get to come back home, come out and stay at Tarpon Lodge and fish with two of my very best friends, this was one of my favorite trips of the year.